today's assembly, we will be showcasing the talents and skills which our subject brings us, our very own VVPAs.
All year round, every week, for 2 whole hours, we've been toiling under the sun to build and showcase our wonderful skills for you.
Kavya, what are you talking about? We have like 3 hours of science every single day. I don't see you giving emotional speeches about that.
Like I was saying before I was unfortunately interrupted, this integral part of our creative journey aids in building various skills beyond traditional textbook learning.
VVPA also gives us the opportunity to explore interests beyond academics. It offers various courses such as drama, music, art, dance, AI, and even 3D design.
It's about discovering passions, developing skills, and expressing creativity in meaningful ways. So without further ado, welcome to our wonderful vocational and visual performing arts display.
This year in AI VVPA, we worked entirely in Python and built different machine learning systems.
But that sounds really serious.
It was.
No, but actually, what does it even mean?
It means that we didn't just use AI. We trained it from scratch using data.
And enough examples for it to recognize patterns. So instead of just asking AI for answers,
We built the system that gives the answers.
that sounds really interesting. But you know what's even more interesting?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
How is it that no one is ever able to beat you?
It's just pattern recognition.
Could we train a computer to beat you?
That's exactly what we tried. One of our first projects was to build a rock, paper, scissors game using machine learning.
We used a platform called Teachable Machine to help train our model. That means we had to collect our own data. We took over 300 images of each hand gesture, rock, paper, and scissors. The more data and images we fed it, the more accurate it became.
After training, we exported the model into something called a Keras file. Keras is a machine learning framework that allows Python to use AI-trained models. Then we use OpenCV, which is a computer vision library. It lets Python access webcam and analyze images frame by frame.
Our code captures live video, sends each frame to the trained model, and the model predicts what hand gesture it sees. Once the same hand gesture is detected consistently, the program calculates whether you win or you lose.
Recognizing hand gestures is one thing.
But what happens when the data isn't images? It's medical information.
That's when we moved from image-based models to database predictions. We used a real medical data set containing over 1,000 patient records. Each row represented a person, and each column contained real medical measurements such as blood pressure, cholesterol levels, heart rate, and other clinical indicators.
We used various Python libraries like Pandas, which helped us read and organize large data sets, NumPy, which handles numerical values and arrays, and scikit-learn, which is a machine learning library that allowed us to train models.
We split the dataset into 2 parts, one part to train the model and one part to test its accuracy. We used a classification module called logistic regression, which identifies patterns in the data and predicts whether someone is likely to have a heart disease or not.
After training the model, we created a system where we input new medical values and the model would predict the outcome.
At the end of this project, we wrote a reflection on why AI in healthcare must be used responsibly.
AI models are only as good as the data that they are trained on. This means that if the data set is biased, incomplete, or inaccurate, the predictions could be misleading. This project helped us understand why healthcare AI requires careful evaluation and oversight.
So now the computer can identify patterns in images and data sets?
But can it understand data in real time?
That's what we explored next. We worked with the real-time computer vision using something called MediaPipe, which is an AI library developed by Google. We used OpenCV to access a webcam and MediaPipe's face mesh model to map hundreds of small landmarks on a person's face.
Each landmark is a coordinate between 0 and 1. We convert these into screen positions and draw them in real time. This allows the computer to understand features like eye position, head orientation, and mouth movement.
After building the face mesh, we extended it into a real-time monitoring system. We created conditions to classify a person as attentive, distracted, or drowsy.
If no face is detected, it marks the person as absent. If the eyes are closed for more than 3 seconds, it marks them as drowsy. If the head is turned away, it detects a distraction. And if the mouth is open for more than 2 seconds, it counts as a yawn.
All of this runs live using simple conditional code on AI-detected facial landmarks.
So, from collecting over 900 images to cleaning medical data sets to debugging real-time facial tracking, we learned that AI may appear intelligent, but it can be defeated by one tiny semicolon. Thank you. Now, the presentation for AI is done. We'll pass it over to drama.
Hi, we're the Drama VVPA. Today we're excited to give you a small glimpse into what happens in our drama classes. Slow walking. You'll see how we build confidence and creativity through fun interactive exercises. By the end of this assembly, we hope you'll understand not just what we do, but why we do it. As we begin, you might notice something changing behind me as I'm speaking. Very slow walking. Such as the speed as what they're walking at. This is a common drama warm-up, using movement to build focus and awareness of space and others around us. Next, we'll move into a laughing exercise. One student will laugh hysterically while the other tries to stay completely calm. This shows how in drama we learn to control our emotions even when we feel something totally different inside. A key skill for acting, presentations, and real life. After that comes our mirror activity, where two actors face each other and mirror each other's movements exactly, like a reflection. This activity teaches synchronization between the actors, concentration, and how to communicate without words, helping us stay present and responsive on stage. Lastly comes our gibberish activity, which highlights improvisation and imagination. One student will speak only in gibberish while trying to sell an imaginary product, and the other will act as a translator. This teaches us quick thinking, communication, and how to express ideas even without using real words.
Welcome, everybody. I'm here to sell you all a new product, a drum.
Clicka, clicka, boom!
It also functions as a time bomb.
Kravalu, kravalu. No, kravalu de luxa.
It also looks sort of like a climate changing device.
One time, two time, zinga!
If you use it one time, it won't work, but the second time, it'll go zinga.
Shop la vie.
I hope you find it in our shop someday and buy it.
Today only.
Thank you. Through activities like these, drama helps students become confident speakers and understand that there is more than one way of saying something. There are many ways of saying something.
There are many ways of saying something.
There are many ways of saying something.
There are many ways of saying something.
There are many ways of saying something.
One way is through music. We'll now invite the music students on stage.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. In our music VVPA subject this term, we learned music theory and producing music using DAWs. Now we will demonstrate one of our projects and explain each track and the role that it plays.
Alright. We will first start by playing the intro track. The intro track contains synths, which create the actual mood for the song. And once we play, you will notice it getting louder over time. This is through the use of an automation clip, where the beat will progressively get louder over time until a specific point where you decide to drop the beat. This creates hype. And
next, we're going to play our drum track. The drum track provides the rhythm and keeps the timing steady. It is the basic foundation for any song.
Next, we will play the bass track. The bass adds depth and connects the harmony to the rhythm.
Now we'll play the flute and the harmony track. This adds melody and depth to the song. Now we're going to play the beat switch section. In this section, the main melody of the song completely changes. We're going to play the new drum, the new bass, and the new violin strings all together for you.
After the beat switch section, the song returns to its main verse with the same beat.
We will now play all the tracks together in one final beat. It's hard staying still like this, isn't it? Come on. Dance! Yeah, I don't know how to dance. That's the unfortunate part. Come on. How do we all like the song? Can one of you give us feedback? Come on. Don't be shy. I choose you. How do you like it?
It was very nice.
Yeah, thank you. All right, thank you all. Bye.
Now we're just going to be singing a short clip of a song for all of you. We've chosen a song that hopefully most of you know, so please do sing along.
Maybe it's the way you say my name. Maybe it's the way you play your game. But it's all good. I've never known anybody like you. And it's all good. I've never dreamed of nobody like you. And I've heard you, but love it comes once in a lifetime. And I'm pretty sure that you are the love of mine. 'Cause I'm in the field of dandelions, wishing on everyone that you'll be mine. Mine. And I see forever in your eyes. I feel okay when I see you smile. Smile. Wishing on dandelions all of the time. Praying to God that one day you'll be mine. Wishing on dandelions all of the time. All of the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Handing over to our next VVPA.
The next VVPA is art. We are from VVPA Visual Arts, and there are three main components we focused on this year: watercolor, clay modeling, and sketching. We are going to be speaking about watercolors, which are one of the most expressive types of painting. Like the name itself, watercolors are paints that are mixed with water to create transparent effects. Watercolors are also known for their light and flowing appearance, which makes paintings look natural and delicate.
One of the main features of watercolor is transparency, and this is when we can see paint underneath each layer. And there are different techniques in watercolor. One is wet on wet, when paint is applied directly on wet paper, which creates soft and blurry effects. Then it's wet on dry, when paint is applied on dry paper and it gives sharper and clearer lines.
So watercolors are really popular in school. They're affordable, they're easy to carry around, and they're safe to use. So they teach us the technique of how to mix water and paint in the right ratio.
Another thing about watercolors is also the tools that we use. We've mainly used brushes, but there's also thick brushes and thin brushes to give more detail. And you can also use watercolors with other tools like sauce sprinkling and dabbing.
And in a lot of our classes, what we normally do is that we take an object such as a vase of flowers, and we are meant to paint a particular part of that object, such as like the bud. And we use watercolor as our main medium because it creates a really realistic and natural effect. So thank you.
We'll be talking to you about our second component that we've learned, which is sketching. And I'll be talking to you about baselines. Baselines are guidelines that show where different elements of a drawing should be placed, and they act as the foundation of any sketch. For example, when drawing a face, they help keep the eyes level. And when drawing a building, they keep everything proportional and aligned. For me, baselines have really helped with composition and spacing.
Okay, so I'll be talking about shading. So shading is used to create a more realistic and three-dimensional effect. And the three techniques I'll be sharing with you. So first there's hatching, where you basically draw parallel lines close together to create shadow. And the closer the lines are, the darker the area appears. Then there's cross-hatching, where you basically layer lines in different directions on top of one another to create a deeper shade. And then there's blending, where you basically smoothen pencil lines using a blending tool or tissue to create a softer, more realistic effect.
So I'm going to talk about the essential aspects I've considered when I drew my sketch. So I focus on properly observing the reference image to capture the proportion and the details of the subject. Moreover, I concentrated on the intensity of the pressure I applied to the pencil to properly depict the contrast and the depth of between the light and shadow.
So today, Shringavi, Bhumish and I are going to be talking about the clay modeling component of art VVPA. So what clay modeling is it's basically a sculpture technique where you use your hands and various tools to shape soft clay into a 3D piece of art.
And some of the reasons why people may do this is because clay is a very common medium to use and it's really malleable.
It can also be fired to make permanent, and it's easy to correct mistakes.
And now I'm going to talk about a few techniques that we use during clay modeling. I'm going to be talking about pinching and coiling. So in terms of pinching, it's when you pinch two pieces of clay or pinch clay into a shape. For example, here you have a pot, or you can do it in terms of 3D faces, as you can see in the art room. And in terms of coiling has been around for a very long time, and it's used to create mugs and create different designs in order to use the shape. And again, it can be fired to make permanent. So you can make utensils with it and use it.
I'm going to be talking about slab building and joining. So through creating even width slabs of clay, you can join them through this method called scoring, where you use a sharp tool to sort of make indents in the clay and then join two slabs together and it will provide structural integrity because of the friction created.
Thank you. We're going to be moving on to dance VVPA now.
So now I'm going to be talking about dance VVPA. So dance is basically where we use structure movement to express emotions, rhythm, and music interpretations. Basically, it's to show a story. So now I'm going to talk about musicality. Musicality refers to a dancer's ability to understand music through movement. In this, dancers analyze offbeats, which is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, then upbeats and downbeats. This helps the dancer to stay synchronized with the song and make sure the dance and the music make sure they connect. Proper body alignment, better posture, and core engagement helps with stability, coordination, and balanced movement. Maintaining soft knees, which is basically to keep your knees bent, helps with smoother transitions, better flow, and helps with coordination and stability. Now, effective weight transfer between feet supports balance and the flow of the dance. Next, isolations, which is basically you move one body part while keeping the whole body still, helps with coordination, precision, and coordination for the upper body, lower body is necessary for performing simultaneous movements. Next, spatial awareness. One advice that Tasya, which is my dance VVPA teacher, and Mimosa told is that we must use the entire stage but never leave the center stage. And so there's another trick Mimosa taught me is that imagine there's a box surrounding your body till the top of your head. When your foot is both on the outline of the box, it's called open limit. And then when you double it, when you go more wider, it's called the double limit. And this helps for balance when you're moving from one side to another. And then the first song that I took, which is Sapphire by Ed Sheeran, we decided to combine 3 different dance styles, which is classical, hip hop, and Bollywood. I learned that different styles have different techniques or aspects in it. Classical involves precise hand movement and it's like a structural body movement, like you keep your whole upper body still, while hip hop you need to groove and use your torso too. While Bollywood gives is expressive storytelling and with rhythmic footwork and energy. I also learned shuffles, slides, glides, and drags. This helps with footwork precision and smooth flow movement. Now I'm going to show a choreography that Vimasa, Tasya auntie and I made, and thanks to Maureen sir for his valuable inputs.
You're glowing, you color and fracture the light. You can't help but shine, and I know that you carry the world on your back. But look at you tonight. The lights, your face, your eyes, exploding like fireworks in the sky. Touching your body while you're pushing on me. Don't you in the party? I can do this all week. We'll be dancing till the morning. Body, look what we found. Karma reached out into our hearts and pulled us to our feet now. You know the truth is, we could disappear anywhere as long as I got you there. When the sun dies, till the day shines. When I'm with you, there's not enough time. You are my spring flower, watching you bloom wild. We are surrounded, but I can only see the lights. Your face, your eyes, exploding like fireworks in the sky. छुपा के तू धनक फिर दी की वर अपने दो नाड़ा उते नीलम जड़े चम 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 के सितारे बरसी touching on your body while you're pushing on me. Don't you in the party? I can do this all week. We'll be dancing till the morning, go to bed, we won't sleep. Chum chum ke सितारे बरसी body while you're pushing on me. Don't you in the party? Explode so we can party till the morning, go to sleep. Sleep the sky. Your face, your eyes, exploding like fireworks in the sky.
Now we're moving on to the next VVPA, which is 3D animation.
Hello everyone. Today we're presenting our 3D modeling projects. Using both Tinkercad and Blender, we learned on how to create and combine shapes into detailed objects and scenes.
Through these projects, we learned about scaling, alignment, symmetry, and how creativity and problem solving play a key role in 3D design. We'll now walk you through each of our projects.
Yeah, so I made a cup on Blender, which is a 3D animation software. So from this I learned that I can use like really basic shapes to make a lot of objects. So the skills that I used for the base of the cup, first I used the taper to give it that V shape, and I used the hollowing tool and the scaler tool to make the proportions correct for the cup, which I downloaded from another software. And I also used the same hollowing and taper tool for the straw. So by doing this, it taught me that with like a little bit of hard work, I can make a lot of simple shapes into very different objects that's really unique, and I hope to learn how to animate them in the future.
So here I've created a car garage scene in Tinkercad, and instead of just modeling one object, I've created a whole environment, including walls, car, and other decorative elements. And I made sure that each object was proportional and aligned, so my final project would look realistic. From this, I learned that on Tinkercad, you can create more than just one object. You have the ability to create a whole environment.
So here I created a wallet clip in Tinkercad. I used cylinder and source shape to make the clip, and I used scale and align to make sure the model was centered and symmetrical. The main challenge I faced was with balancing proportions so that the model would be stable and neat. And from this, I learned how precision and symmetry play important roles while making functional objects in 3D.
Here I create a computer setup in Tinkercad. I use rectangles, spheres, and cylinders to make the stand, monitor, and accessories. I carefully adjusted each shape so that the setup looked realistic. From making this, I learned that using simple geometric shapes, we can make everyday objects.
So I created a 3D race car using Tinkercad. I began by building the main body with rectangular prisms and added cylinders for the wheels. I used scale and align to position each part accurately and make the model look balanced. From this, I learned that I can create a more complex and realistic model.
As you can see, I created a snowman using Tinkercad. I used spheres for the body and smaller shapes for the hands, nose, and hat. So I focused on positioning and scaling to give the character a balanced and playful look, depicting how 3D modeling can be used for character creation.
So over here, I created a 3D landscape scene with a car in Tinkercad. I built mountains using pyramid shapes and added grass and a road to finish up the environment. Then I designed a simple car and placed it into the scene. I focused on color and layout to make the scene look complete. From this, I learned how background elements and scenery help make a 3D model look more realistic. And the next step for this project is animation.
I created a 3D chain reaction simulation for my project. So I used the simplified physics of the simulation to create this chain reaction, and I used the funnel as a proof of concept to see whether this actually works. Is a repeatable experiment instead of just a single time thing. So I used duplicate to create the many dominoes, as you can see in the picture. And I had to create a custom shape near the top left to build the funnel.
Yeah. To conclude, these projects helped us understand how 3D modeling works and how simple shapes can be transformed into detailed objects and scenes. We learned important skills such as precision, scaling, and creative problem solving.
It also showed us how 3D design is used in real-life areas like animation, product design, engineering, and architecture. Overall, these projects helped us improve both our technical skills and our creativity. Thank you.
Wow, that was very insightful. Kavya, did you know that many different dance forms could be combined as a fusion, or that 3D design could be used in real life for architecture and design?
As a matter of fact, I did know that. Were you not paying to the presentation?
Anyways, we hope you enjoyed the glimpse into our assembly and the skills, enthusiasm, and passion these VVPAs bring to our school.
And
homes.
And
the future.
Can you honestly let me finish? There's an assembly going on. I don't want to scream.
Well, I'm sorry. I just thought you liked saying the word and.
And
you need help there? Okay, fine, I'll stop talking.
Anyways, we hope today's assembly reminded you that VVPA isn't just an activity.
But it's a place where you can truly explore what you're interested about and build skills that last beyond school.
Speaking about building skills that last beyond school, we would like now to move on to the winning accolades. Please stand up as your name is called.
Firstly, for the Espanol Olympiada, Spanish learners across grades 5 to 11 participated in the Spanish Olympiad hosted at Shivnadar on the 14th of February. In the intermediate category, KCI won first and second place. The first place team consisted of Ishan Menezes, Surim Kang, and Nivriti Shrikant from IG2, and Vyomini S from IG2, and Sangyun Nam from IG1, Ajay Akash from IG1, and Bhumesh Pri from IG1. And for the second place team, Sanya Kishan from IG1, Hinaya from IB1, Siddharth George from IB1, Ilakshi Saha from IB1, and Akhil Aditya from IB1, and Tanya Mangal Prasad from IB1. Congratulations to both the teams.
Moving on, KC High participated in the Under-15 football tournament hosted by Thiruvallavar Vidyashram. In the Under-15 boys category, KC High won first place. The members of the team were Aryan Alambadi Venkataswamy, Advait Ravi, Arya Kannan, Elanathan Elamaran, Arman Dhruv, Prithvi Palanyapan, Abhinav Karthikeyan. Aryan also won Best Player.
Next, moving on to the individual awards. Samara Shankar and Shri Swaminathan from IG2 participated in the Grade 10 category of an athletic state meet that happened in the Jawaharlal Stadium on Feb 6th. Here, Samara won the gold in triple jump and silver in the 100-meter race, achieving new personal records.
Shreya secured the first place in the 300-meter race, accomplishing a new personal record and won second in the long jump.
Moving on to the individual achievements again, Gaurav won first place in the Proficiency 1 category in the Tennessee tournament organized by Prime Tennis Academy in Chennai.
Samara Shankar of Grade 10 participated in the SGFI National Gymnastics Tournament held in Kolkata. Her team placed third.
Congratulations to all the winners. Finally, we would like to request everyone to please rise for the national anthem. We also have another winner. Hadnik from Grade 10 participated in an intra-club pickleball tournament at Madras Boat Club on the 18th, 19th and 20th of Feb. This was an open-age doubles tournament where Hadnik and his partner won 7 out of the 8 matches that they played. Hadnik was awarded the silver medal alongside the Spirit of Sportsmanship Award. Congratulations, Hadnik. Before we wrap things up, we would like to take a moment to thank the wonderful, lovely people who made this event possible.
We would like to thank Sam Anna, Shrikant Anna, Jagan Anna, Madhi Anna, and the facilities team for the arrangements today.
Selvan Anna for the recording of the assembly.
Swayam Auntie for the editing of the recording and uploading it on the school website.
Paul Sir, Jonathan Sir for the music today, and Vyas for playing the instrument.
Also, shout out to Ajay, Gaurav, and Dhruv for managing lights and sound system.
Huge shout out.
And finally, thank you everybody for attending today's assembly. Thank you.
Thank you.